And welcome back. With mortgage rates still around 7% and home prices up from last year, what will happen in 2024? Also, what US cities are at the greatest risk of home prices decreasing over the next 12 months? In today's video, I'll share all the details, and thank you so much for joining me. This is based on a brand new report from Corelogic just announced on March 5th. This report, by the way, covers home prices on a national level. They also look at 10 select cities as well. And on top of that, they provide an in-depth analysis regarding home prices as of January. This data here is a little bit lagging here, but just posted today at the time of filming this video here. So let's just kind of dive in right here. Here's their forecast. So the forecast is a gain of 2.6%. Again, home prices on a national level based on their HPI or their home price index increasing by 2.6% from January 2024 through January of 2025. They're also forecasting from January through February this year, prices to be flat. Now you may be thinking to yourself, how accurate are their previous predictions here? So their prediction 1 year ago, actually did some digging for you guys, is right here. Posted on March 7th of 2023. Here's their forecast from January 2023 through 24. Their forecast was a gain of 3.1%. Whereas right now, we're up by 5.8%. So quite a bit below what actually happened regarding home prices over the past 12 months here. What I will say though is that it's very, very challenging to predict what's going to happen to our US housing market because there's so many factors that impact home prices, home sales, etc., that are completely beyond our control. And that is the direction of rates, how many people decide to list their house for sale, etc., etc. So making it very challenging to predict what is actually going to happen. So here's what they had to say regarding what we're seeing right now. It says year over year, home prices reached the highest rate in the year in January, but the growth rate in home prices is expected to begin slowing in the coming months. So again, they're talking about year over year changes in prices is actually going to increase, but not increase at the same levels we saw in years past here. And it says here falling to 2.6%. Again, year over year, a gain of 2.6% by early 2025. So by early 2025, they're predicting we're going to see a gain only at 2.6%, which is right here. They also say here that both higher rates and inventory shortages are exacerbating the nation's long-running housing affordability problem. How long have I been talking about this? Huge issue right now. So let's first talk about rates as of last week. This is according to Freddie Mac, just posted last Thursday. Each and every week, they post the average rate nationwide for people with great credit. So the average 30-year fix for people with great credit was at 6.94% 1 week ago. According to their chief economist, he said rates continued their ascent this week, reaching a 2-month high and flirting with 7% once again. For what reason, they look at weekly rates, but when looking at daily rates, the Mortgage News Daily has been reporting rates at above 7% for several weeks now. In any case, it says the recent boomerang in rates has dampened already tentative homebuyer momentum as we approach the spring months, a historically busy season for home buying. While sales of newly built houses are trending in the positive direction, higher rates and elevated prices continue to pose affordability challenges that may leave potential home buyers on the sidelines. Please leave me a comment below if you guys are waiting for home prices to decrease in order to make housing more affordable before you buy a house. I hear a lot about that. People commenting saying that you want to see home prices decrease big time because you want to see housing affordability improve. By the way, 1 year ago, rates actually weren't too much below what we're seeing today. Right now, at 6.94% as of last week. 1 year ago, we were at 6.65%. So in regards to inventory shortages here is a new chart I found on Realtor.com's website for the month of February. This is actually the first update I've seen regarding the entire month of February on the internet. And Realtor.com does a really good job regarding that. Not a paid promotion, but they do a really good job to share each month's stats on a very timely basis here, because we won't see stats from the National Association of Realtors until the mid to end of this month, which is March. And we already have February's numbers here from Realtor.com. Anyways, I found this to be interesting though. And this chart here is kind of a mess, but let's just look beyond that, because they provide stats going back through 2017. If you look at Redfin's data center, it only goes back to 2021, I believe. So this is really great to see. How are the stats we're seeing today? How does that compare to pre-COVID levels? So the blue line right here at the top is 2017. The red line is 2019. The orange line is 2018, pre-COVID levels. Here is 2020, when the housing market, basically was skyrocketing, and inventory decreased from around over 900,000 and ended the year at around 600,000. That's why prices really increased in the second half of 2020. Also, here is 2023. This pink line right here, the green line is 2021, and the gold line right there is 2022. So here's the good and bad news regarding the trends we're seeing right now regarding inventory. Again, this is active listing count, or the amount of houses actually for sale by the end of February this year compared to years past. Of course, they share the entire year, but what we're looking at right here is February this year. 664,000 homes for sale, which is greater than 2023, 21, and 2022. So the time frame right now, we're at least a 3-year high. That is good news if you're looking to buy a house, because you want to see more options to choose from. And when we have levels this low, like we saw in early 2022, when we had approximately 350,000 houses for sale, back then, if you list your house for sale, that your house sold very, very quickly. And that's why prices reached all-time record highs right around June 2022. So the good news regarding this is that we have about twice as many houses right now compared to then. That's good. The downside, though, is that we still have well below the levels we should have back in 2017 through 2019, when we should have around 1.1 million houses for sale. Now we only have 664,000. So in other words, we still have a long ways to go in order to have a more normal level of houses for sale. Again, if you guys want to see home prices tank, you need to see this line right here basically going straight up in order to see supply outpace demand. Okay, let's get back to Corelogic report here regarding home price trends we're seeing as of January this year. And this is really interesting because this map right here looked completely different from a year ago, which I'll share with you guys here in a little bit. But as you can see right here, the areas or the states shaded in dark red are in which prices have increased more than 7% from January 2024 through January this year. So the strongest gains in prices are located in the Midwest as well as the Northeast. In contrast, the states that are still up on a year-over-year basis but experienced the smallest gains were located in Idaho, Montana, Louisiana, and Hawaii. They also say here that no states saw home prices decrease from 12 months ago here. And on top of that, the states with the biggest increases were Rhode Island, increasing by 13.2%, New Jersey up by 11.6%, and Connecticut saw prices increase by 11%. Now here's the map from 1 year ago. It looked like this. The smallest gains were located in the West. The biggest increases were actually located in Florida, Maine, and South Carolina, increasing by more than 10%. Something I found to be really interesting is that Florida led the nation 1 year ago, a gain of 13.4% year over year. But now, Florida did not even make the top 10 as of January 2024. In fact, Rhode Island is the biggest gainer right now, up by 13.2%. Corelogic also looks at these 10 select metros each and every month as well. So regarding the biggest increases in prices on a national level, Miami, Florida led the nation once again, up by 10.2%. The only metro here that's experienced a gain over 10%. The smallest increase was actually located in Houston, Texas, only up by 2.1%. Also, something to note here, San Diego up by 8.5%, getting actually very close to the gains we're seeing in Miami, Florida. Also, from a year ago, posted back in 2023, look at that, Miami, Florida up by 17.3%. Look at that, Houston up by 6.9%. Now they're only up by 2.1%. So something that really caught my attention though was also San Diego. So San Diego 1 year ago was up by 2.6%. Now it's up by nearly 9% right now, which is astonishing given the fact that the median sold price in San Diego is around $900,000. And lastly, here's a look at Corelogic's list of the top 5 US markets in which they believe home prices will decrease the most over the next 12 months. Leading the nation is actually in Spokane, Washington, a very high probability that prices will decrease. After that was Palm Bay, Melbourne, Florida, Salt Lake City, Utah, Ocala, Florida, and Ogden, Utah, rounding out the top 5. So please leave me a comment below with your biggest takeaways from today's video. Also, if you guys got any value out of this video whatsoever, then please hit the like button. Also consider subscribing as well. Hope you guys have an awesome day. I appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next video.